Hello friends, I am Dr. A.G. Khairnar, working as a assistant professor at KTHM College, Nasik. I am going to teach you the subject control systems. So here in this lecture, I will explain the different types of control systems. So we'll start. So before knowing the different types of control systems, we should be familiar with what is control system. So we'll define the control system. Before defining the control system, we should know what is system. A system therefore is an arrangement or combination of different physical components which act together as an entire unit which will perform some objective or which will give you some specific output. Such a arrangement is called as a system. And now we can define the control systems. If you know the meaning of word control, that is mean command, to regulate, to limit, or to operate something. Okay, so the control system can be defined as it is an arrangement of different physical components connected in such a manner so as to regulate, direct, or command itself or some other system. That is termed as the control systems. Now we'll see some terminologies related with the control systems. They are plant, controller, input, output, and disturbance. The plant is the portion of a system which is to be controlled or regulated is called as the plant or the process plant. In short, whatever the control process is going on, that will happen in the portion of system that is called as plant. Okay, controller, the element of the system itself or external to the system which controls the plant or the process is called as controller. So controller will control the process to give you the controlled output. And the next term, that is input. Input is an applied signal or an excitation signal that is given to control system from an external energy source in order to produce a specified output. Okay, so input is an applied signal that will generate the output or that will produce the controlled output. Now the term output, the next term is output. Output is the particular signal of interest or the actual response obtained from a control system when some input is applied to it. So output is the response obtained from a system when some excitation is given to the system, or we can say it is a generated response. That is called as the output of control system. So there is the term disturbance. Actually we don't want it. Okay, so disturbance is the signal which actually tends to adversely affect the value of output of a system. There are two types of disturbances. One is internal disturbance and the second is external disturbance. If the disturbances are generated within the system itself, it is called as internal disturbance, and when the disturbances are generated outside the system, which is acting as an extra input to the system in addition to its normal input, which will affect adversely the output, called as the external disturbances. The control systems may have one or more input and output. So the output to control system means input and output to control system may be one or more than one. So this is a simplified description of a control system. Here this figure is giving us the cause and effect relationship between input output for a plant. Okay, the input is generally referred to as reference input and output is generally referred to as the control output, because the output generated is controlled by the controller in the process plant, and being this as a reference signal, or we can say it is a excitation signal given to the plant, it is termed as the reference input. The simplified example or the simple example for a control system is a switch controlling the position on and off of a lamp. Here this lamp is a physical system. So when this physical system is connected in such a way that we can get the specific output, which is the on state of the lamp, by a switch. So here this switch is performing the controlling action. Okay, this switch will control the on and off state of this lamp. Okay, so the supply, the switch and the lamp, so these are the physical systems. They are arranged in a series, and now this whole is called as the control system. So this is the best example to start with the control system. So now, after knowing the basics of control system or the definition of control systems, studying example or some terminologies related with the control systems, we are going to study the different types of control system, that is classification of control systems. There are 10 different classification of control systems or different types of control systems. They are natural control system, second man-made control system, third combinational control system, fourth time varying and time invariant control systems, fifth one linear and non-linear control systems, sixth continuous time and discrete time control systems, seventh lumped parameter and distributed parameter control system. The next one is deterministic and stochastic control system. The ninth one is single input and single output, abbreviated as SISO control system, and multiple input and multiple output, which is abbreviated as MIMO control systems. Okay, the 10th control system is open loop and closed loop control systems. Okay, so we'll see one by one what is natural control system means, we will see one by one the different types of control systems with their examples. The first one being the natural control systems. The biological systems and the system inside human beings are said to be the natural control systems. So the example of natural control system is the perspiration system inside the human being is one of the good example of natural control systems. Okay, the second one we can think about the different seasons or cycles which are occurring in the nature. They are the natural one. They are going to occur in the control manner in the nature. We consider the perspiration system inside the human being as a control system because this system activates the secretion glands secreting sweat and regulates the temperature of human body. Okay, so next the man-made control systems. The various systems we are using in our day-to-day life are designed and manufactured by human beings. So such systems like we can take the example of vehicles, then different switches, various controllers which are called as man-made control systems. So example of man-made control system is the automobile system. They are operating with gears, accelerators which we see in the malls or maybe in the airports, railway stations. braking system. These are some of the good examples of man-made control systems. The next control system is combinational control system. Being the name combinational control, so here in this system we are having combination of natural and man-made control systems together. Okay, so if we consider the example, see, human being is said to be the natural control system, as we have already seen the example of perspiration system. So human being is said to be a natural control system. So there are different biological and physical systems inside the human body, so they are said to be the natural one. Therefore human being is said to be a natural control system. Okay, so if such a human or we can say driver driving a vehicle in such a system, for the successful operation of the system, it is necessary that natural systems of the driver, which is a human, along with the systems in a vehicle, which is a man-made control system, must be active. So here both the combinational control, that is because of human being which is a driver, and the vehicle which is a man-made control system, are taken in consideration. So there are again different types, such as time varying and time invariant control system. As the name suggests, time varying. Okay, so in time varying control systems are those in which parameters of the system are changing with time. It is not dependent whether input and output are functions of time or not. I repeat, in the time varying control systems, the parameters of control system are changing with time and not the input and output are changing with time. Okay, so we can see the example of time varying system is a space vehicle in which the mass of vehicle decreases with the time as it leaves the earth. Since the mass is a parameter of a space vehicle system. Okay, similarly in case of rocket's aerodynamic damping can change with time as the air density changes with the altitude, that is height. Okay, and in opposite way, the time invariant control systems are systems in which the parameters of systems are independent of time, which are not changing with the time and are constants. Then system is said to be time invariant systems. Okay, so we can consider the examples of electrical networks which are consisting of the elements, parasitic elements such as resistance, inductance and capacitance are time invariant system, as the values of such a components which are passive components are not changing with the time. Okay, so the complexity of system design increases considerably if the control system is of the time varying type. Okay, now we'll see the linear and non-linear control systems. Okay, see, any control system is said to be linear if it satisfies the principle of superposition, or principle of superposition is applicable to the system, and if it obeys the law of homogeneity, then such a system is said to be non-linear. And if it is not linear, then it is a non-linear control system. Or we can say, if the control system is not applying, or the laws of superposition are not applicable to the control system, and it is also not obeying the law of homogeneity, then that system is said to be non-linear control systems. So we can see here the additive property. For applying the law of superposition, we can express it by the two properties, that is additive property and the homogeneous property. So here we can see the additive property here. If we have the function f of x plus y, that is giving you the addition f of x plus f of y, so this property is obeyed, okay. And the homogeneous property, so we have the function f of alpha x, where alpha is a constant which is a scalar, okay, and we can have alpha f of x. So if it is obeying this law, then we can say that such a systems are the linear systems, okay. And the example for the linear control system is electrical network consisting of the elements resistors, inductors and a capacitor. So we have seen here the electrical network with a resistor and inductor. So here the response of this system will be a linear one. If we see the input output characteristics, will get the linear output here, just straight line. Therefore this system, this control system is said to be a linear control system. Now the non-linear control system. So non-linear control system does not satisfy the principle of superposition, and the equation describing the systems are non-linear in nature, okay. So here the function f of x is equal to x square is non-linear because it is not satisfying the additive property, and also it is not satisfying the homogeneous property, as f of x plus y will give you x plus y square and not x square plus y square. Therefore additive property is not satisfied by this equation or by this system. And also here we can see f of alpha x will give you f of alpha x square and not alpha x square. So again here alpha is a constant and is scalar, right. So we can consider the example of a diode, again a electrical control system, where voltage current equation of diode that gives us the exponential curve, which is a non-linear one. Therefore a diode circuit is an example of non-linear control system. So the next type is continuous time and discrete time control systems. In a continuous time control systems, all system variables are the functions of we can say the continuous time variable t. The example of continuous time system is the speed control of DC motor using a tachometer feedback is a continuous type system, okay. So here at any time t they are dependent on time. In the discrete time control systems, one or more system variables are known only at certain discrete intervals of a time. Such systems are termed to be as discrete time control systems, and they are not continuously dependent on the time. The microprocessor or microcomputer based systems use such discrete time signals. The reasons for using such a signal in digital controllers are actually they are less sensitive to noise, time sharing of one equipment with other channel is possible, and even it is advantageous by the point of view of their size, speed which is increased speed, memory capacity, flexibility, etc. Okay, the next type is lumped parameter and distributed parameter control systems. If a control system that can be described by ordinary differential equations, then that control system is called as lumped parameter control system. We can consider the example of electrical network with different parameters such as we have resistance, inductance, etc. are lumped parameter systems, because we can describe this electrical networks or electrical parameters by the ordinary differential equations. Okay, and the distributed parameter systems are those control systems in which they are described by the partial differential equations are called as the distributed control systems. For example, here the best example is of the transmission line having its parameter resistance and inductance, which are totally distributed along the transmission line. Hence, the description of a transmission line characteristics is always by use of partial differential equations. The next type is deterministic and stochastic control systems. As the name suggests, deterministics. So in the control systems where we can determine the response of a control system when input as well as behavior to external disturbance is predictable and repeatable. That means we can determine the control output of a system. Such a systems or such a control systems are called as deterministic control systems, whereas if the output response is unpredictable or not which we cannot determine the response of a system, such a control systems are said to be or called to be stochastic in nature. And the next type is single input and single output, that is SISO control systems, and multiple input and multiple output control systems. So you can easily understood by the name itself what are the single input and single output control systems. Yes, a system having only one input and one output are called as single input and single output systems. For example, we can consider a position control system which has only one input, which is desired position, expected position, and only one output, which is the actual output position. Okay, so whereas we have the systems, control systems, which may have multiple type of input and multiple outputs, so that control systems are called as multiple input and multiple output systems. Okay, and the last type of the control system is open loop and closed loop control systems. So about this type we are going to see in detail what are the open loop and closed loop control systems with their examples in the next subsequent sections. That is, we will consider first the open loop control system. So a control system in which the output is dependent on input, but the controlling action or input is totally independent of the output or changes in output of the system, then it is called as the open loop system. So here we can say that a system in which output is independent or changes in the output are, we can say that the controlling action or input is totally independent of output or changes in the output. So in any way the output is not related with the input. So that type of systems are said to be open loop control systems. So there is no loop, there is no loop from the output to the reference input or to the controlling action. So this is the controller here, this is the process or actual we can say the plant where the process is carried out, and that process is controlled by this controller. Okay, so in open loop system we have the block diagram for this open loop system. Here reference input is applied to the controller which generate the actuating signal u of t required to control the process which is to be controlled. Okay, and this process is giving out the required control output c of t. Here the reference input is given as r of t, actuating signal is u of t, and the control output is shown as c of t. Okay, so these are the standard symbols which are used for the reference input, actuating signal or the control output. The example which we have seen, the switch which is controlling the on and off state of the bulb, that is the open loop control system, because the on state and off state in any way is not related with the input or the controller switch of the lamp. So any change in light has no effect on the on off position of the switch, okay, either the controlling action. Similarly, we can have the example of bread toaster, traffic signals. There are many more examples we can have for the open loop systems. So we can consider any example in which output is not related with the input, that all systems are the open loop systems. Even we can consider the example of automatic washing machine, similar like bread toaster, in which output is actually the degree of cleanness of the clothes, the dirty clothes. Okay, but any change in this output will not affect the controlling action, or will not decide the operation time, or will not even decide the amount of the detergents which are used during the washing of the clothes, dirty clothes. Okay, so here they are automatic. The word automatic is there because they are controlled by different parameter. We can say in the automatic washing machine or bread toaster, they are controlled by the time, but not output is not controlled by the time, or it is not in any way related with the input. So they are said to be the open loop systems, even though the word automatic is there. So the advantages of open loop systems are: open loop systems are simple in construction, they are very much convenient when output is difficult to measure, systems are easy from the maintenance point of view, and generally these are not a trouble with the problems of stability, and moreover such systems are simple to design and hence they are economical. Okay, so they are not much more costly. But the disadvantage of open loop systems are the response or the output of such systems are inaccurate and unreliable, because accuracy of such systems are actually totally dependent on the pre-calibration of the controller. If controller is not calibrated, then we may get the inaccurate results. Again, open loop systems can give us inaccurate results if there are variation in the external environment. Such systems cannot sense the environmental changes. Okay, so this is the external disturbance. So the output may change because of the external disturbances also, right? Similarly, these systems can also give the inaccurate result if there are some internal disturbances of the system. Okay, therefore to maintain the quality and accuracy in the open loop control systems, recalibration of controller is necessary from time to time. Okay, so we have to check again and again whether controller is giving you the correct output, and we have to calibrate the controller again and again so that it will give us the correct correct output or the accurate results, accurate controlled output. Okay. So next we will consider the closed loop control systems. So the closed loop control system, here name indicates there is a loop which is a controlled. Okay, you can see the figure here. So a system in which the controlling action or input is somehow dependent on the output or changes in the output is called as closed loop control system. I repeat, here the controlling action or input is somehow dependent on the output or changes in the output is called as closed loop control system. In a closed loop control system, to have dependence of input on the output, the closed loop control system uses the feedback property. We know the feedback is the property of the system by which it permits the output to be compared with the reference input. So here we are comparing the output through a feedback to the reference input to generate the error signal based on which this controller will take a appropriate action that will control the process. Okay, so here we can see the block diagram for a closed loop control system. Here in somehow manner the control output is compared with the reference input, and by this error signal this controller is going to take the appropriate action to control the process. And the examples of closed loop control systems are the human being. So human being is said to be example of a closed loop control systems, as it can take the corrective action by the feedback. Secondly, automatic ion, ship stabilizations are some of the examples. We can have many more examples in our day-to-day life for the closed loop control systems. So even atomatic ion, so in that automatic ion systems, the controlling action of the heating element, that is on and off of heating element, is done by a sensor which is a thermostat. Okay, thermostat senses the temperature. If it is exceeds the set point, then the ion is automatically switched on and switched off. Okay, even we have considered the example of human being as the closed loop control systems. So we can explain it by the fact that if some person wants to reach for a book, maybe on the table or on the shelf, so in that what happens, we'll consider the position of book as a reference point, and the feedback signal from eyes compared with the actual position of hands with the reference point, which is the position of book, and based on the error signal given to the brain will manipulate this error and gives signals to hand. This process will go on till that reach book will reach, or that will be picked up by the hands. Okay, so human being is said to be the closed loop control systems. So we can have the many more examples. Even the ship stabilization system. In the ship stabilization system, we have the roll sensor, which is used as a feedback element. Okay, so the desired roll position is selected as the we can say the reference input or the theta r, while actual roll position is the theta c. Means we can say that that is a controlled output, and which is compared with the reference position to generate the controlling signal, and this will actuate the fin actuator that will stabilize the ship properly. So here we can say that in the closed loop control systems, there are the output in some way is fed back or compared with the reference input. okay, that will generate the error signal that is given to the controller for taking the appropriate action, and that way the process is controlled. Okay, so the advantages of a closed loop control system. So accuracy of closed loop systems is always very high because controller modifies and manipulates the actuating signal such that error in the system will be 0. It always try to modify and manipulate the actuating signal so that error can be minimized, or it will make a error, it will try to make the error 0, so that will give you the accurate results. Okay, such systems again are able to sense the environmental changes as well as the internal disturbances, and they will accordingly modify the error, and appropriate action will be taken to keep the output at desired position. Again, in the closed loop control systems, there is a reduced effect of non-linearities and the distortions as well. Okay, bandwidth of closed loop control systems, bandwidth range is very high, so operating frequency zone for such a system is very high. So there are certain disadvantages of closed loop control systems are also there, being their design is complicated and time consuming, so the cost is increased. Okay, they are complicated in the design point of view. Again, due to the feedback, that system always try to correct the error from time to time, therefore tendency to overcorrect the error may cause oscillations without bound in the system. Hence, systems have to be designed taking into consideration problems of instability due to feedback. The stability problems may be very high and must be taken care while designing the closed loop control systems. So feedback leads to the oscillatory response, and this oscillatory response will unstabilize the control system. So you have to take in consideration the oscillations which are produced because of the feedback, or the feedback should be chosen, or we have to consider the design consideration while designing such systems. Okay, so I think this is all about the different types of control systems, and thank you very much. In the next lecture we'll see the different type of control strategies such as feedback control, adaptive control, feed forward control, then direct digital control, and fuzzy logic control. Okay, so thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can ask on the Google Classroom. So thank you very much.